What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Need to Know Talk Show. My name is Justin Ray Bettis, along with my co-host
Donovan Marquez,
coming straight out of the beautiful San Antonio, Texas.
2-0.
All right. How's everybody doing today?
I think we're doing all right.
Doing all right.
Today's episode, we are going to this is going to be our 5th episode. So in doing so, we wanted to kind of do a get to know us type deal. Because we've been a few episodes deep going over our own kind of views over relationships and things like that, or dating and all that. But this is going to take a little more of a personal dive into who we are and our lives and things like that. So why don't you tell everybody where you're from, bro?
I am from Three Rivers, Texas. A lot of people don't know where that's from, especially when I moved back here, 15 years ago?
Yeah.
Or right dab in the middle between here and Corpus Christi is what I tell people. So if you ever been to the beach, you take that exit off 37 that says Alice and McAllen, right there where the Loves is at. 3 miles in town, right there. You're in Three Rivers, Texas.
Yeah. Is there anything like Three Rivers is known for, like the popular thing like someone would go there for?
Valero Refining Company, that's like the main thing.
It's like the main.
Yeah, but we got a lot of good fishing and hunting out there. You know, when we got Three Rivers that run through it. I mean, it's called Tres Rios for a reason. Nueces, Atacosa, and Frio.
Those are the ones that run.
I think, it's my fellow listeners back home and my, people back home. If I'm getting that wrong, please correct me. But I think I'm right. They got a federal penitentiary that's like 10 miles going towards Tilden.
Which penitentiary's out there? Garza?
No, that's Beeville.
That's right.
So, what else do we have? Callahan State Park. Callahan, that's, it's a lake, so it's real dry right now. Got Tips Park, it's real dry.
Yeah.
The white bass are running right now. I talked to my brother earlier, so it's a little cold right now. If you don't, y'all are tuning in, this fucking crazy ass bipolar weather over here is supposed to be freezing tonight. What kind of shit is this? But yeah, man, that's pretty much it.
Yeah. So what kind of good fishing is out there? Like, what do you catch?
Like I said, white bass are running right now. Of course, catfish, alligator guard, needle nose, flathead, blue cat, channel cat.
I'm not super big on fishing myself, but is that good eats?
It's good.
It's good eats.
A lot of people don't like it. I love it. My brother and I will eat the shit out of it. You got your trash fish or whatever. I'm a river rat, bro. Got Gasper goo, all that stuff. Has a lot of bones in it, but if you cook it right on the grill, it's good, man.
Yeah.
Hunting, of course. I fucking hunt for deer, fucking rabbits, hogs, dove.
Yeah.
Quail. We don't have a bunch of quail out there.
I've had quail.
But, that's pretty much it, man.
Nice, man. What was it like growing up over there in Three Rivers?
Very secluded, man. It was you can keep your front door unlocked. Everybody's welcome. Everybody knows everybody. I mean, born and raised. All my family's from there. Most of my family, mom's side. I had some of my dad's side there, but a lot of them but moved to George West, which is 10 miles from Three Rivers. That's part of Live Oak County. But yeah, man, it's just super cool. Just running the streets, walking everywhere you can. My first job was at the local Rialto Theater when I was, 8th grade? No, I was a freshman. Freshman year. Yeah, everybody just about worked there, man. Everybody and their dog.
The theater?
Yeah, it was cool. It was super cool.
Did you get free tickets?
Yeah. It was pretty cool because at the time, that's Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, fucking... we'd get the movies the day before it would release on a Friday. So whoever worked there could bring a friend, and we'd have a pre-screening.
Oh, yeah.
And so we get to watch the movie before anybody else could. That was cool, dude.
That sounds
super
cool.
Yeah. And we did a lot of stuff behind the scenes, because we were in high school, shout out to Miss Likens, if you're listening to this, I'm sorry, but we kept it cool. You probably didn't know what was going on, or I think she heard some of the rumors because we would have morning meetings and stuff like that. And I worked my way up to be a projectionist. It's pretty cool, man.
Yeah,
learning how to reel up the movies and stuff. I'm a big movie guy, so it was cool. Get to take home the movie posters and stuff like that.
That's dope.
That's dope. And it was pretty cool, man. Our little section where we had arcade and stuff like that, there was actual jukebox in there.
Oh,
Yeah, so like, and
nice.
dude, it had a good system in it. So we'd have to like shut it off, or she would go and turn it off because like it was so loud you would hear it in the theater.
Yeah.
You know, so like it was cool, dude. It was like the spot to hang out at.
Hell yeah.
It was cool.
Sounds dope, man. So, how long were you there? Elementary through high school? High school afterwards?
I was there up until I moved to Kansas my junior year. Yeah, so I worked there fucking 3 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
It was
Nice.
cool, man. Yeah, my first job, my favorite job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what was there to
Next
do?
to this, you know,
Like,
next to the podcast.
besides like going to the movie theaters and stuff, like what was the thing to do out there?
We kind of pregame it there. You know, everybody worked there, and like pre-gaming, we would pre-game it.
Yeah.
And then kind of figure out, you know, where the party was afterwards. It would be at my house or my buddy's house or anybody's house, and you know, after football games, whatever.
Like house parties was the thing.
Oh yeah,
That was like the main.
or you know, at the all my buddies, you know, they own some sort of land, you know, their parents.
Yeah, and
stuff,
just
so-
being out there.
Yeah, so just making bonfires and fucking just doing dumb shit you would do when you were a teenager, you know.
Hell yeah.
Fucking fighting and making fires and you know,
Fighting, making fires.
yeah. So
Hey, ain't nothing wrong with that.
yeah, it's fun. And you?
Well, I've been in San Antonio on and off since about 98, but originally, I'm from Midland, Odessa, the devil's asshole.
That's correct.
No, man, it's a big old dust bowl out there, but it's grown since I went this past time for Christmas. It has really grown on the west side of Midland. I mean, huge houses being built out there.
I remember you FaceTiming me when you went, and that little park you were at. That's like downtown area, right?
Kind of.
It was awesome.
It was really nice.
It looked cool.
But yeah, there's so much there now that wasn't there when I lived there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
For
But,
sure.
I spent the earlier years of my childhood in Midland and then on and off between there and San Antonio. So I kind of grew up in both places.
Oh yeah.
Like literally I would spend 6 months here, 6 months there. Like it was a lot of back and forth, you know.
Same thing here. Same thing with me.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we first met at Express Lube.
Yeah.
And when I got
working
the
at
job
Express
there,
Lube.
yeah.
Shout out to Stones, Brother Highfield.
Brother Highfield, everybody, that whole crew.
Best manager I've ever had in my life.
Oh, yes. Oh,
Mike,
yeah.
man. Shout out to Mike.
Shout out
Best
to Mike.
manager I've ever had.
Yeah.
And he actually gave me the job while I was in Midland. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah, he
That's just
hired me.
bad.
Yeah, no. So I was in Midland and I talked to him on the phone and he was like, "Well, when are you coming down?" I was like, "I'll be down there in like a week or two." And he was like, "All right." He was like, "Well, you start on the Monday, you come back." And I was
Yeah,
like,
I remember already working there, and I was like, "Who's this scrawny ass motherfucker?" I said, "Logging in," and I was like, "Oh, this is D."
the coolest motherfucker alive.
Yeah, that was cool, man. I remember, man. Yeah.
Yeah, no, so that was good. I did a lot of my teenage years growing up here in San Antonio.
Yeah, you and Josh,
me
right?
and- man, shout out to my best friend. That's my boy.
Hell yeah.
My boy in the trenches, my boy Joshua Davis.
Joshua Davis, yeah, cool cat.
And he's going to be on the show here pretty soon. We're gonna
Actually,
get him on.
That's funny how it all ties in together. How I got really close to Josh is when I moved back, I needed a job, and I really didn't want to get back into that business, but hey,
Yeah.
I needed something. So
Yeah, you got-
he was managing. It was Express Lube at the time before it turned into Take Five. Or was it already?
That
a
was
Take
already
Five?
Take
No,
Five.
it was a Take Five.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, got a job and
Yeah, no, I told him, I said,
Yeah.
"Hey, bro, Justin's moving back." Well, it's funny how all that works because Josh was out of a job for a little while and I called Stones.
Oh yeah.
And I say, "Hey, Stones, I got my boy, you know, he knows about cars. He needs a job." And he's like, "Well, yeah, send him on by." Got him hired. And then Josh became a manager. And I said, "Hey, Justin needs a job." You know, he just.
and I became a manager.
and then you became a manager. Yeah, it's funny how that, but you know, that's just boys looking out for boys, man.
Exactly.
You know, that's the definition of boys. That's when you're looking out for people, you know, you're putting people on like that.
Yeah.
You know, but so what was I don't know how deep you want to go, but how was family life for you? Like, do you have siblings? And
Oh yeah, I have an older brother, man. He's 40. He's about to be 44 actually on the 6th. Him and my niece, they share the same birthday on April 6th.
Yeah.
So yeah, older brother, mom and dad, you know, they split up when I was, I don't know, like 10, 11 years old.
yeah,
And a bunch of big family back
Yeah.
home, a bunch of aunts and, you know, one uncle, my Uncle Abel,
yeah,
my Aunt Binky, you know, I love my family to death. I'm just the man I am because of them.
yeah.
You know, my dad and everything too. But Yeah, man, it was cool.
Yeah.
Cool. It was
So what was your childhood like when growing up with mom and dad?
It was cool, man. It was cool. My mom grew up as she was always in the medical field, worked EMS and, a nurse and all that. My dad grew up, in the oil field. So,
Yeah.
not in Midland, but back in South Texas and stuff. He roughnecked all his life. And, I didn't really venture off to that part. I did a little bit of it. My brother did. He went and worked with my dad for a bit, but I did like the pipeline and everything.
Yeah.
Roustabout, all that, jack of all trades and master of none, man. I've had so many different jobs. It's ridiculous, but I learned a lot, from it. But yeah, and then fast forward, I have a son now who, is my world. I do everything for him. Met his mother there in Three Rivers. We were together for like 6 years. We've been split up for about 5 years now. So it's good to go back home because he lives in the valley. We co-parent or stuff like that. So I drive down there all the time to Alice to go pick him up, or sometimes all the way to the valley. So it's cool, and he loves it, man. He loves. I mean, his home is San Antonio, is what he knows. But
Yeah.
Our home is also Three Rivers. So
Yeah.
that's where all the family's at.
Hell yeah, bro. Yeah. Is there anything, let's say, like, is there any like childhood experience that you would think significantly shaped the person you are today?
I've been on my own since I was 18. I was kind of like a gypsy here and there, my mom and dad split up, I lived with my dad for a little bit, then I lived with my mom, and then I lived with my aunt and uncle, and then, my junior year, I flew out to Kansas to finish up high school over there. And, I was, living with my cousin Savannah over there. Just been on my own ever since. I lived over there for about a couple years, moved back to Three Rivers, was there for a little bit, stayed at my mom's house. She was already living here in San Antonio. And, I was there living on my own for a little bit. And then I always wanted to move to San Antonio. Growing up, my parents would always bring us shopping over here because, we didn't really have anywhere to go. They would take us to Corpus, but we liked San Antonio better. They would always bring us over here and stuff like that. So I always said when I grew up, I would want to be in the city.
See, that was the big thing for us. Well, I mean, I didn't have my dad, but I grew up with, in a single parent household, and rest in peace to my Aunt Lola. Her and my mom were like best friends. Mm-hmm. So they would always, because in Midland, they would put the Macy's commercial on the TV. Well, Midland didn't have a Macy's.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? So we would go school shopping and stuff over here, like all the way over here. Yeah. Like my mom and my aunt, they didn't know what the fuck they were going to do. They loaded up all the kids into the car and just headed for San Antonio. Yeah. And this was like our haven, like this was everything to us coming from a place like that.
Yeah, same for
because if you lived in a big city your whole life, you don't know what coming to a big city from a small town is like. Yeah, it's exactly. Like, whoa, like, damn, there's everything here,
It's humbling.
Yeah, it's crazy. But so we would come over here, do school shopping and shit, and then go back to Midland. And then eventually, my mom got a job for Intocable. She used to work for Intocable.
Hell yeah.
And they would do a lot of touring and shows and stuff, and they would come over here a lot. So eventually, same shit. Her and my aunt saved up, dude, and they packed up all the kids in the car, and we moved over here. We had no plan, nothing. Yeah. My mom was just like,
you got to go with it.
Yeah, my mom was just like, I know what I want to do, and it's not living here. Yeah. So she dipped, and in 98, we ended up here, bro.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy, dude. Did you have any sort of like a role model growing up?
Yes and no. I mean, I had a bunch. All my family.
Like anybody significantly like you looked up to?
I looked up, of course, to, my mom, my dad, my brother. But as I got older and stuff, because like I said, I was, came from a broken home. So I was living with, family members. So my Uncle David, man, was really big. And he passed away about, how long has it been? Like 6-7 years ago? Yeah. He was a really big influence, man. Like, yeah, he was cool, man. I miss my Uncle David to death. Yeah. And then that's why me and my cousin Rowdy, which is his son, and, he was married to my Aunt Gloria. So that, big role model. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And of course, my uncle Abel, and shout out to my aunt Binky. And my aunt Hilda, they all raised me when I was little, man. I heard I was a little shit growing up, but what really influenced me and got me through a lot at that time was music. Always listening to music, man, and it was cool. Yeah, music got me through a lot of dark places, and
same. I remember just being in my room jamming, like when you had a hard day or you just feeling some type of way, just shut your door and you just jam.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah, dude. Was there any moment in your childhood when you realized that the world wasn't as simple as you thought it was? Like when that turning point was? Do you ever remember that?
Yeah. Yes and no. I mean, when I was younger, man, kind of, when I went and moved away from my family for the first time. Yeah, that's when it was. Like, it was a real big pivotal point, when I moved away when I was, 18? I had just turned 18, dude. And, hopped on a plane and moved to Kansas, and was my other family on my mom's side over there. I had my cousins that lived over there, my cousin Savannah, my cousin Josh, and kind of started over there.
Yeah. Nah.
Made a new name for myself,
Yeah. I think the role model for me, I mean, to be quite honest, I didn't have a whole lot, I didn't have a whole lot to look up to. Would have been my uncle, man. He's just
your uncle,
just the type of person you want to be, give you the shirt off his back kind of guy.
He's got that 57 Chevy, right?
55.
Or 55.
55 Bel Air.
Correction, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I would say it was my uncle.
Hell yeah. Okay, so football was a real big part of my life growing up, or sports, I was an athlete back then. I say I was pretty good. Wasn't, not to toot my own horn, but so for you, like growing up in Midland, bro, like, Permian and the Rebels, dude, I would love to.
They were big.
I remember I went to go work with my dad on a workover rig over there in Midland when he was there, and I got to pass by, the Ratliff Stadium.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, dude, I could only imagine playing there, dude, on the Friday Night Lights. So that would have been awesome, man, growing up around that, that culture of high school football, because they were like the most dominant programs.
Yeah, they were crazy.
And still are to this day.
They were really good.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
Was there like a lesson that your family taught you that you would say you didn't really appreciate till you got older?
Yeah, just, be very respectful, treat people the way you want to be treated, and work hard for what you want, because nothing is given in this life. And, all of my family, we've had to work hard for what we got, and nothing was given to us, so.
Yeah.
My grandma, that goes back to my grandma and grandpa, my mom's side. So yeah, man, it's, hard work.
Yeah, I think the moment in my childhood when I realized the world wasn't as easy as I thought it was me watching my mom struggle. Like my mom went through a lot, man, and shout out to my mom's, man, because she was never hooked on any drugs, was never like a big alcoholic.
I didn't even know when you told me she went to Tech, bro.
Oh yeah, she graduated from Tech.
That's badass. I didn't even know that till you told me the other day. I was like, what?
She graduated from Tech, but was just watching her struggle, bro. There was moments in our lives when we were kids where we were like sleeping in cars and shit, bro. And that was like a real deal, bro. We were sleeping in the back of a car for a little while, and then like as I got older, everything just changed, and I realized that life itself wasn't as simple as I thought it was.
Yeah, we were kids, Yeah.
But I don't take no victim mentality from it, though.
Oh, yeah, you can't. You got to learn from it.
Yeah, it was just something that we went through in life, and if like that, like a lesson that was taught to me by my family that I didn't appreciate till I got older was that, just appreciate everything.
Yeah.
Everything that you got every step of the way, because it may seem bad where you're at now, but you'll get to where you're going eventually if you keep going.
Don't give up. Don't give up on your dreams, man.
Yeah.
And like, moving forward, fast forward, like as you already know, we're both single fathers, so our sons come first, and we do everything for them.
And the thing about that is not having my dad in my life taught me how not to be,
Exactly.
But even I've talked to people that have had their fathers in their lives, and they're like, look, man, sometimes you can consider yourself lucky that you didn't, because they're not always what they crack up to be.
Yeah, I know that. I know about that. Yeah.
Has your relationship with your parents or your siblings evolved over time at all? Like anything?
Yeah, it has. We've hit a lot of rough patches, man. A lot, all their family, everybody's family has, their drama or whatever you want to call it and stuff, but it's how you move forward from that. You don't want to be stuck in that place, and for sure.
Hell yeah. Nah, same. Well, I'm the baby.
Same.
So I think when it comes to being the youngest, you have to have a certain level of understanding and patience. You know what I mean? Because when you're the youngest in the family, you kind of get a little from everyone. Yeah, you know what I mean? When you're the oldest, it's a certain way because there's no one there yet. Yeah. And then when you're the youngest, it's a certain way because everyone's there and you're kind of just getting input from everyone. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And it shapes you in different ways. That's why, like Chris, I'm really into cars because Chris was into cars, and my uncle's been into cars since I was a kid. Yeah. And then Jay was really into music, really, really into music. And then my sister would dress me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So she taught me how to dress a little back in the day.
My Aunt Hilda was doing that. Well, and my brother too, not to cut you off, and stuff like that. But my brother was real big into music and sports and football. So that, I learned a lot from him with that.
Yeah. I mean, you wouldn't know it looking at me today, but back then I was a lyricist, man. Oh yeah. I was a lyric writer. Yeah, you were. And that's thanks to Jay, because Jay had been doing music for a while, and he was doing beats and all that stuff, and that, he would always tell me, right. And I'd be like, nah.
Yeah, we need to bring up those clips whenever y'all were, man. I had that little group going on.
Dude, shout out, bro. Lone Star family. If y'all are from Midland back in the day, y'all remember that. We were on the radio. Our song was on the radio, or their song was on the radio.
That's badass.
And it was pretty dope, dude.
Hell yeah.
Can you recall a turning point in your life where everything kind of changed for you, like from going from childhood to adulthood, like where that transition happened?
Yeah, like we said earlier, when I moved to Kansas and stuff like that. Well, what really got me into like lost in the music and stuff like that, all my friends were musically inclined. So my buddy Tomas taught me how to read tabs when I was like, Tomas started before all of us. I remember that little classical guitar, nylon string. He was a skateboarder, all that stuff, and he taught me how to play guitar, and we all just jammed and just, all of us, play guitar. And
was there a point in your life though when you were like, man, I'm not a kid anymore, man? Like I really gotta start.
When my mom and dad split up, that's kind of when it happened.
So that was that turning point.
Yeah, that was a big turning point. Yeah.
You're like, man, I'm not a little kid.
I mean, I was a kid, but like I had to grow up fast.
Yeah, that I understand. Because we kind of cut from the same cloth,
Oh, definitely. That's why we're boys, and we have been for like how many years now?
Shit, man. So since Boog, so that's been now 12 years.
Yeah.
Because I met you a year before he was born. So he's 11, right. So that'd be 12 years.
I remember too, and I think you remember too. You told me that you found out you were going to have it. And I was like, hey, congratulations. I was the first one to tell you that. Yeah. And I remember you saying you're the first one to tell me. I was like, yeah, man, that's a big thing.
It's a big deal. Yeah. So what would you think was the hardest decision you've had to make in your life up until this point? And what do you think you might have learned from that?
It was whenever me and my baby mama split, she left and stuff like that. And I wanted to work things out, and stuff. We had our differences, but she's from the Valley, I'm like, there's no opportunity over there, man. Like, I could have went over there and, chased the whole thing, but like, I just wanted to work things out and be here. But like, it really broke me, man, whenever she took my son away from me.
I remember that day, dude. I remember that because I think Boog was still in California at that time with his mom. And then I remember you asked me, and you're like, bro, how do you do it? That conversation right there, that's a conversation that stays with me till this day. you know, because you were like, bro, because you were almost breaking down at that point. I remember that. And you were like, bro, how do you do it? And all I could really tell you, bro, is you don't, man. You don't do it. Not having your kid with you, that's you have to really learn how to just be, you know, and almost just not off yourself at some point, exactly. You know, because it's like they take your heart away from you, you know, they take that beat away from you. But yeah, no, I think the hardest decision I've ever had to make, man, was I was really young when I made that decision, but when Boog was born was to just try to develop and change myself. You know what I mean? To be a good father, you know, to be a good dad as best I could be. You know what I mean? Because that in itself, I was only 21 when I had him. You know what I mean? So, and then me and his mom split, you know. And that was a hard decision for me as well. You know, it's kind of like it's spread out between so many decisions, you know. But the thing that I've learned from it all, you know, what I have learned from it all is who I am as a person. You know, I've learned a lot about myself through all of this transitioning happening. Yeah. You know what I mean? Which needed to happen.
And not to cut you off, but I don't want, you know, we're talking about friends and everything, like, you know, giving my shout outs to everybody here, but everybody back home, y'all know who y'all are, man. John Matthew, fucking Gilbert, Jonathan, you know, all of y'all know y'all are my boys. So like they were, you know, the ones I could lean to and stuff like that. Cause, you know, like, I remember calling you, you know, you were the closest one here. And of course I called them and talked to them, but like you're the one I could go to and talk to and be in person. So I was like, man, is he going to move to Cali? Like, fuck. Like, yeah.
Well, also too, I was the other person going through the same shit.
Yeah. So yeah, exactly. So we related a lot. You know?
Yeah. I think we kind of trauma bonded over that fact, you know?
Yeah, man, we went, these past 5 years have been, it's a roller coaster, man. Yeah. Roller coaster for sure.
It's been crazy for sure, man, because when my son's mom decided to take Boog, you know, I was young and he was still a baby and they moved to California, and boy, I really had to like hone in on myself, you know, to not just dispatch myself out this world. You know what I mean? Like it was tough, bro, but I got through it, man. And here we are, you know what I mean? So was there something you say is like a moment in your life that you wish you could go back and experience again, either to change it or just relive it?
I wouldn't change it. I would just relive it.
Which one?
I know there's a lot, dude. I don't know. There's a lot. Okay. A lot of people do this and you live in the past or whatever, do that.
No.
It's not living in the past, but like, I love football, man, growing up and stuff. And, I was, you know, or you and I are the same. I just wouldn't take shit from anybody. You know, I always spoke my mind, and a lot of the coaches didn't like that. So I wish I could go back and maybe I just would have bit my tongue a little bit and not be speak my mind so much, just so I could have finished my high school years of playing ball with my boys and, you know,
just kind of listen.
Yeah, I always listened. I listened to what they said, but I mean, we had those hard-nosed coaches that aren't really around nowadays, you know, and stuff like that, and that would push you and bring out the best of you, you know. Nowadays, you know, they'll get fired for some of this shit, you know, to say, you know, I'm not going to name bomb my coaches or anything, but shout out to them. They know who they are, man. Like, they brought out the best athlete of me, you know, so yeah, I just would have bit my tongue a little bit, you know, but they brought out the best of me, man. They did, like, man, I was about...
So you'd relive like the glory days,
just
playing ball.
Yeah, just that, just so you know, because we all stuck together as a team, man. We really did, and we could have done great things, you know, and they did. I remember whenever I moved away, and you know, hearing about the season they had, it's like, oh man, if I would have been there, you know, or like on the track team with my buddies, like, yeah, man.
Man, if there was a moment in time I could relive, it was probably when like I was a teenager, like here in San Antonio, because when we were teenagers, it was before like gangs got introduced, you know, so we were just a bunch of kids. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if anybody's hearing this has seen the movie Kids, but that's how it was for me growing up here, right here off of Wurzbach and I-10. We were just a bunch of kids, man. I mean, we would wake up at 9 a.m. Josh come knocking on my door. What's up, fool? Like, let's go, you know? Get up, get dressed, you know? We go play ball. We go swimming, you know, go mess around with girls. Like, we were just, it was just that life.
We did the same thing in theaters, but, at the time growing up, we didn't have cars, so we would run the streets. We had to worry about being at curfew at 9 o'clock, but, you know, everybody knows everybody, so we know the cops and stuff, and like they know our parents, so like we'll get away with what we can. You know, we weren't that bad of kids, but as we got in high school, we did some pretty stupid
growing
shit.
Growing up here, I grew up right here off of Wurzbach I-10. You know, from Gardendale to Data Point, this whole area, pretty much from 410 all the way towards like UTSA, like. And we had a big span of area to mob it around and do. We were always riding bikes, you know, and it was all apartments, you know, we didn't live in houses. So we were always like that, bro, just going from apartment to apartment. We'd go swimming at one apartment and then jump the fence to another one, go swimming over there. Dude.
Yeah.
You know, we
would have did the same thing.
Yeah, we were just pool hopping.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget when I met Josh and them, bro. I was 11 years, dude. I was Boog's age, dude.
Yeah, I remember you telling me.
And I lived right here. If y'all are familiar, right here off of Blue Mill. It used to be called Mission Station. The name of the apartments behind Auburn Creek used to be called Mission Station. So one day I just left the house. I told my mom, dude, I was 11. I was like, yo, I'm going to walk down to the corner store and go get something. She was like, no, I don't think that's a good idea. I was like, I'm going to do it anyway. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I walked, dude, and there was these two girls. I'll never forget. They were cousins and they were fighting in the ditch. Like they were throwing hands. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And there was a bunch of kids and I'm walking by, bro. And there's a bunch of kids in the ditch and it gets quiet. And I already know, like, you know, it's weird. At 11, I already had street sense, you know.
Of course.
And I turned around and everyone's like, hey. And I was like, oh, shit. Like, here we go. So I turned around. They're like, where are you from? And I was like, oh, I'm from West Texas, you know, Midland. They're like, where the fuck is that?
West Texas.
Yeah. And I was like, yeah, what's up? They're like, what set you claim? I was like, no, I don't claim no set. You know, I was like, no set tripping, you know, like I'm cool. And and they started to crowd around me. So I already knew what it was going to be. Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah, like this is about to go down, you know. And shout out to my boy Nate. He came kind of through the crowd and shook my hand. And he was like, what's up? You know, I shook his hand. I hadn't even met Josh yet. Yeah. Yeah. And then, the rest of my teenage years happened from there, bro. Because Nate kind of took me to the side. He's like, hey, do you smoke? You know, this is a bunch of little potheads. 11 years old, bro.
Oh, I know,
A bunch of little potheads, man. And I was like, yeah. They're like, oh, okay, well, we're going to go get some, you know, some Phillies and go back to the apartment and smoke. I was like, all right. So I go with them, and that's where I meet everybody. I meet Josh. I met his brother. I met everybody. Yeah. And that was my childhood from there, bro, growing up right here in San Antonio.
Hell yeah.
And I loved it, bro. That is a moment in time that I would go and relive because that was just like freedom. You know, we were out from 9 a.m. till 2, 3 in the morning, just being kids, you know, mobbing it, running around, mobbing it, you know, doing crazy shit, you know. And I think it was fucking badass, bro.
Fucking badass, bro.
So how would you say you personally define happiness? Like, what's happiness for you? And has that definition changed over time at all?
It's changed over time somewhat, but happiness is right now. I'm finally at peace after 5 years and dealing with, you know, the whole mess like I've been talking about. Right now, man, I'm finally at peace and just focusing, just going up from here. Yeah. You know, finally, like our idea of this podcast talk show was like a year ago. Yeah. When we recorded our first episode, you know, we're actually ahead of schedule. It was like in March when we did it.
Yeah, we're doing pretty good.
Yeah, and we're just doing this, man.
Yeah, I would say same for me. Like happiness is being, because a lot of people are like, oh, don't get content. No, that's wrong. I think you should be content where you're at till you get to where you're going.
Yeah, you need to get content with yourself.
Yeah, that's the main thing. You need to get content with yourself. I used to be of the personal belief that happiness is when you've already got everything. Yeah. But happiness is really the journey.
Yeah, and everything doesn't have to be like most people, oh, you got the nice car, the nice house, all that. Like, it's going to come in time, but just being happy with what you have right now.
Yeah, being happy with right now till you get what's coming later. Yeah. You know, that's all it really takes, you know, for the most part.
As long as you work hard.
Yeah. So what would you say, like, what's one lesson any past relationship has taught you about yourself, either romantic or platonic, like, you know, a lover or a friend has taught you about yourself, would you say?
Just kind of don't leave without like I mean, not so much about having closure, but just have good communication. You know what I mean? Like, because I'm still really close with some of my exes and all that stuff, you know. But like I said, to be honest, you know, I've always been the dumpy. You know, there's only one time I left a situation or a relationship because I wasn't ready yet, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, just do that, man. Have good communication, you know, whether with a friend or, I mean, I've lost friends too, you know, for stuff, you know. I try to rekindle whatever and they're just still set in their ways, you know, and they don't want to accept it or apologize. A lot of people are afraid to apologize, you know, or admit when they're wrong or and stuff like that. And, but pretty much that.
Yeah. Let's see. I think one for me, a lesson that I'd learned would be my last relationship was that if you have to recognize within yourself if you are the problem in the relationship. You know what I mean? You have, like I said, everybody's the main character in the story. Like you can't look past yourself and then you realize it's the other person. No, if it's you, admit to yourself it's you and do the right thing, you know, and move on from that.
Just take accountability, and that's anything at your job, friendships, anything.
Just take accountability for what you're doing and why you're doing it and move on.
And if they can't accept that, especially in the workplace, man, the workplace is they're your biggest fucking critics, dude. And like, they don't, you know, I wish it was different, you know. Yeah, it was different in the workplace, but they, I don't know. It's just, I feel people jump on with you once you start doing good. You're either going to have your haters and stuff like that, or going to, you know, talk you up, or, you know, whatever, you know, or whenever they leave the room, they're going to talk shit about you. Yeah. You know,
I mean, you can't control that.
Yeah, exactly. That's going to be ever. But what I'm getting at, you know, the same thing, you know, like you're going to have criticism everywhere, you know, and you're going to definitely, because a lot of people realize, or like, your work is your second home. You know, you know, like you're there all the fucking time. How much time do you get to spend when you're at home by yourself on your days off or whatever, you know, like, or if you build up PTO or whatever and stuff like that. And like, yeah, so like you got to have some self, like, even if you want to take a day off, just to have a day off, and you can have that time to do it, just to like whatever, or anything, you know, like, without giving an explanation, or, you know, just,
what would you say, like, how do you say you would express love, and how do you prefer to receive it? Like, how do you express it, and how would you prefer to receive it from someone?
I'm a giver, man, and everybody knows that. Like, when I genuinely care about you, I do. And I don't expect anything in return, you know. If you do, whatever. But just kind of reciprocate the same love and respect that you give to others. You know, you would hope you get that back, but sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. Sometimes it's fake, sometimes it's real. Yeah.
Yeah. So you'd want to be with someone that's also a giver to you as well. Like, that's what you like to receive love, or how you prefer to receive it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I think for me, I don't know if I'm a giver, man.
You are.
I would say so. And to a certain aspect, you know, the way I like to
certain people.
Yeah. The way I like to receive love for me, because I know what I would need from a partner, and I need peace.
Yeah,
you know?
Exactly. Peace. Yeah.
Like, if you can give me peace, then that's all I need from you. You know what I mean? If you can calm my storm, that's enough.
Exactly.
You know, because sometimes when you have a bad day, a long day, or even if you're just in your head, and someone can realize that, and they're like, "Hey, what's wrong? Like, are you okay?" And like, I'm not really having an okay day. And instead of adding more fuel to your fire, they're like, "Look, just rest. You're okay."
Exactly. Yeah. You know? Take a mentally self-care day.
Yeah, you know, and that
people need that.
And that person that you're with is like, "Look, it's all going to be okay. Like, you're good. You know, you're good. This is a good place for you here with me." You know, not just like, "Well, you need to do this, or you need to do that," or you know, like, "Yo, I just need peace right now."
Exactly.
You know, I just need you to be there, and that's it. You know, because the way I express love is it's in several different ways. It could be funny, you know. It could be if I'm not roasting you, I don't love you.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? You know I have love for you if I'm roasting the shit out of you.
If we can talk shit back and forth and call you out on the shit, or that's a genuine friend is going to call you out on the shit.
Oh, yeah.
You're fucking up, doing, you know, whatever. That's the type I'm looking for as in friendship relationship,
Yeah.
anything.
So, like in a relationship, what do you need from someone? Do you
Exactly what
think
you just said.
that
Same
just
thing.
peace?
Peace, man. I'm at
Right.
peace. I'm finally at peace. After all these years,
Yeah.
someone that can be at peace with me and my son.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I feel you on that. What do you think is the key to like in terms of relationship wise, what do you think is the key to like a truly deeply lasting connection with somebody?
Communication, honesty, trust.
Yeah.
Yeah, peace. All those things all tied into one. There's like
Yeah.
really no typical order of them, but
I think for me, like the thing that would be
pivotal.
pivotal for like a long lasting relationship would be, I think at the top of everything is like we've already said, it's just communication.
And the little things count.
Communication and accountability, you know, because people don't understand when it comes to relationships in that matter is that like I said in the last episode, like if someone's having a bad day and they so happen to take it out on you, but 2 minutes later they turn around and tell you they're sorry. That's taking accountability. Exactly. That's taking accountability for what they're saying. And B, that's them having humility about the situation. Yeah. Like, hey, look, I'm sorry I made you feel this way. I didn't mean to.
Accountability.
Yeah, dude. No, definitely, man. So have you ever had like a friendship or relationship that completely changed the way you see the world? Like someone that's completely changed your view of the world?
Yeah. Yeah. You have,
I mean, even if it's with me, explain how that took place. Like what changed, what view did you have that changed in a certain aspect?
I think we kind of tackled that situation a little bit. I don't know, man. I've had a lot of those, so it's kind of hard to pinpoint that. You know what I mean? Like, Gilbert would always tell me stuff. Family. Like, there's been a lot of them, dude. A lot.
Yeah, but what did they do that specifically changed the way you look at something?
Just call me out on my shit, dude. Like, hey, man, quit being down in the dumps. Quit feel sorry for yourself, depressed. Like, you got it. The only one that's gonna be able to change anything is you. You got to pick yourself up.
Yeah.
In any situation, anything.
Yeah.
Just family members, best friends, coworkers, anything.
Yeah.
If they're willing to tell you that and support you, then just ride with it. You got to listen to it, and only you can fix you.
Yeah.
And also being right with the Lord, man. I'm a very religious man, so
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
What would you say is something that makes you instantly feel safe with another person, like a female or a friend?
Having the same values as I do.
Yeah, that makes you feel safe with them?
Yep.
Yeah. No, I would say the same. Like if I'm around somebody that's kind of on their P's and Q's like I am, you know what I mean? That would instantly make me feel more comfortable around that person.
Yeah,
you know
definitely.
What I mean? Hell yeah, no doubt, man. Is there a personal dream that you've never told anybody about, like a goal or ambition or anything like that?
I've always wanted to proceed music or be a producer.
Yeah, that's like one thing you've always wanted to do.
Yeah. Definitely. Well, I've always wanted to play professional ball, but that's out of the question. I'm 38 years old now, so I'll be a coach maybe one day.
Hell
coach
yeah.
Draven's, team, or he's in jiu-jitsu right now and he's tearing it up.
No, that's awesome.
Yeah, so, but yeah.
Producing music?
Producing music, man.
Yeah, hell yeah. How come you haven't pursued? I mean, you can do that, dude.
Yeah, well, it'll come along with the podcast,
Right.
So
It could. Have you ever, I mean, I think this ties into right now for me, but have you ever pursued something despite fear or uncertainty?
Oh, yes. This is one of them.
Yeah.
Anything. Yeah.
Yeah. Cause I remember when we started, but I mean, these are recordings people have never heard, he was like, man, I don't know how to be on the mic or, he was having a lot of trouble with that.
Yeah, exactly.
And that was cool, man. And we're moving forward with it, and we're doing great. I believe we're doing great. And I hope everyone listening to this believes that we're fucking doing great, man.
Yeah. Just, let this be a stone to chase your dreams, man. Just do it. We're doing this for fun. Whether it takes off.
If it takes off, it takes off. And I'm going to be super grateful if it does. If it doesn't, then we're still here, making this for y'all out there.
Everybody's going to sit at our table that supports us. So don't worry. We'll take care of anybody. Everybody that's on this show or listening, whatever, shout outs, call outs, anything.
Is there any risk you regret not taking in life?
Mm-hmm.
Like a moment you were like, damn, I could have just
some job opportunities, but man, just tired of working for the man, dude. Fuck that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So we're doing our own thing. You know, I got to do what's best for my son and I, and whether that's giving up that fucking corporate job, that 9 to 5 or whatever, like, what everybody is chasing to do, climb that corporate ladder. Like it's not what you make it out to be, man. They're gonna be your slave. You're easily replaceable as the next, you know, and it's just not worth it, man.
Yeah, and I think a lot of this section of the show applies to right now, because if there's a risk I regret not taking, I don't think so, because I've taken most of the risks that I've wanted to.
Yeah,
you know, and this right here is one of them. You know what I mean? This very show is a risk that I'm taking. We're taking right now. You know, but it's something we enjoy doing as well.
Definitely.
So it's kind of that double-edged sword. You know, it's risky, but it's also enjoyable at the same time.
Let's get sharp together. Remember what episode was
your pickup line? Let's get sharp together, man.
Iron sharpens iron, man.
Yeah. So if you could accomplish one big thing before you die, what would it be? Do you know what that is?
To be the best father figure I can to my son.
Yeah. No, I'm right there with you. If I go up to glory, being the best dad that I ever could, then that's okay with me, man. Like I'm good with that. What would you say drives you to keep pushing forward even when things get tough?
My son.
Right. Yeah, that's a big driving force.
My son, my family, my friends, everybody.
No, that is, that's a big driving force for me. When I became a dad, it was like propulsion, man. It's just go. Yeah. You know, and that's funny because, you know, you usually think when you're going to have a kid, you're like, fuck, man, I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't this, I don't that.
Nobody knows.
And it kind of just happens. You know what I mean?
They always say, like, oh, well, I don't have that job yet, or I'm too poor for it. You find a way.
You always find when you have that kid, you do shit that you never thought you would. Like you find a way.
I've worked 3 jobs before, dude. You know, 3 fucking jobs when I was here. Yeah, to do what I had to do. Yeah,
yeah. Is there? Would you say? Do you have like a moral or a belief that you refuse to compromise on? Like something you believe wholeheartedly that you refuse to change? A belief
to listen to other people telling me what I should and shouldn't do, whether it be at work or not. You know, like, nah, tired of that shit, man.
Yeah. So you believe in your own voice.
Exactly.
So I do too. I believe in my own voice.
Yeah. Whether you hear me or not, I don't care. I'm going to do what I want. Like, I will tell you, fuck you to your face. If you're going to fire me, whatever, you better have a damn good reason. Because I'm a hard ass worker.
Do you personally believe that everything happens for a reason, or you kind of create your own path?
Both.
Man, a little bit of both.
A little bit of both. A little bit of both.
I'm of the camp, like, everything does happen for a reason, but there are certain things that are out of your control. Like, there's things in life that you can't control. But if you do have the ability to change it, then that is solely your responsibility to change it, you know, because they're like, if somebody dies, I can't control that. You know, if someone I love dies, I can't control that, but I can create I'm in control of how I feel and how I manage my emotions, you know, so that's where I feel like it's also dual-sided. You kind of create your own path, but also things do happen for a reason.
Exactly.
You know, most definitely. So how would you say you personally handle like failure, and like what's your perspective on that?
You gotta fail in order to get back up, and you have to fail as many times as it takes to fail. You just gotta pick yourself back up.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I'm the person who believes is you fail hard and fail fast. Yeah. So you can kind of get that out the way. Exactly. You know, I've have a lot of talks with my son, and I make him repeat it back to me. I'm like, what is a part of success? He's at failure. I say that's it. You know, that's my view, is that if you fail hard and fast, you'll finally just get that failure out of the way, so it makes way for, you know, the success to come along. You know, is there any kind of anything like a book or a movie or something like that that's changed your view on the world, like something that you like?
I mean, come on,
which one would that be?
You know,
there's so many.
Well, what's the main one
for you? I would know The Crow.
Yeah, exactly.
But how did that change your view, or like what kind of views does that give you? At that time,
man, it just reflected on me. You know, just the whole story, everything. I mean, I named my son after that movie.
Draven.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, if y'all never seen The Crow, the guy's name is Eric Draven.
Yes.
Yeah.
Brandon Lee. Yeah.
Brandon Lee. Yeah. Shout out. Rest in peace, Brandon
James
Lee.
O'Barr, the author, man. That was a comic book, and those are all real life scenarios scenarios of what he'd been through. Those are all real characters that people he worked with and met, and
Yeah. I think a movie that had like a really big impact on me as a kid, which is weird, was The Godfather. There's a lot of life lessons you can learn in that movie.
Oh yeah, all the old mobster movies, man, for sure.
Especially, and it's weird because I was watching The Cable Guy the other night, right? Funny ass movie, but
it's got a good
if you logic to it. If you get the logic to the movie, he's basically saying he was raised by films and shows.
Yeah.
So I kind of looked back on my life, and me and Josh is like, we grew up together, me and him, and not having dads in our lives, a lot of what we did had a lot of correlation to like the movies and shows we watch. Exactly. A lot of our language development, a lot of the way we treat each other, even like the way we treated our friendships. Because like me and his favorite movie together as best friends was Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
Oh, I fucking love it.
Oh my God. Yeah. It's so
Okay, so that was The Crow was a one for me as personally me, but relationship wise, growing up in relationships, was High Fidelity. If anybody's seen High Fidelity,
and what did that teach you?
Just it's not always you. He's trying to find out, like, why am I destined for doom? Why these girls don't want to be with me? And he, like, does a top 5 of, the top 5 breakups. And then, he owns a record store. And, it's got John Cusack, Jack Black. It's got a lot of, John Cusack is one of my favorite actors, man. And it's got a killer soundtrack. I mean, it's got Jack Black in it. Come on. That was like one of the first movies I kind of seen him in. Well, not really, but, I've seen him in other movies, in the early 90s. But, yeah, man, this is that. It's got everything in it. It's got, he's dealing with his relationships. And then also he owns a record store and they, like, talk about music all fucking day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. No.
And it's a comedy. It's a rom-com for dudes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a movie that taught me about relationships. Not really. Because
I've always learned from experience, but I can go back to those movies. I can kind of relate to them. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's what movies are. You can
Well, getting back to what I was saying, like me and him, I didn't have father figures, so we were essentially raised by experience and movies. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of what the Cable Guy is about. Yeah. That's why when he falls on that satellite, he's like, someone's got to kill the babysitter. And he wasn't lying. Like there's logic behind that. It's a funny ass movie.
Yeah.
But there's actual logic behind that, which is crazy, dude.
Jim Carrey, man.
Fucking Jim Carrey, bro.
One and only. And what is his name from Ferris Bueller? What's his name? The actor?
Matthew Roderick.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, yes. Good actor.
I mean, that whole fucking cat with Jack Black's in it too.
Jack Black's actually in that one too.
Yeah.
So if you could teach anyone or everyone in the world just one lesson, what do you think it would be? One lesson. Like if you just had one lesson to teach everyone, what do you think it would be?
Be true to yourself.
Yeah. No, that's a good one. Yeah, just stay true to yourself, and just pick and choose who to take input from and be very careful of that.
Spread it. Spread everything. Spread kind and loveness everywhere.
Spread it all. So as of right now, what do you think that...
I think it out.
I want to think it out. What do you think... what do you hope, at least right now, that people will remember most about you?
Just, like I said, of course, being the best father figure I can myself, but just knowing that I care. I genuinely care about everybody, and I just, rubbing it off, and hopefully I can spread that love and kindness everywhere. That's what this world needs, man.
Yeah, I would say same for me. Like if there's one thing that I would hope,
and put a smile on people's faces. Yeah, man. We need more. More laughter in this.
I would hope that what most people remembered about me was just being a good guy. Yeah, man, that was just a fucking stand up guy, man. Exactly, he's just a cool cat, even if it doesn't seem like it.
Because a lot of
because I can be a little harsh, but it depends. That depends on my relationship.
I was told I was told I'm the sensitive guy.
He took that to heart.
Nah, not really.
Poor guy. But he's sensitive.
I am. I do got a sensitive side of me. We all do, but I mean, just like I've always said, every female can be a bitch and every guy can be an asshole. That's just how you express it.
Yeah.
You know, if you, I'm going to meet you on that same level of respect.
Yeah. Any girl or guy can be the same thing as a girl or guy. You're a bitch, you're a bitch. You're an asshole, you're an asshole. Yeah, you know, you're a hoe, you're a hoe. Yeah. Like, he could be a hoe, she could be a hoe.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, it's all relatable. It all goes back and forth to each other. Yeah, man. So if you could write a letter to your younger self, what do you think it would say?
They listen to this talk show. Listen to this episode.
Right. Listen to this.
Listen to this.
Listen to what these two dudes have to say. Yeah. If I could write a letter to my younger self, it would be, honestly, just keep going, man. Yeah.
Just keep swimming. Just keep going.
Just keep going, man. Yeah. Keep doing your damn thing, dude. Don't listen to anybody else. Yeah, dude. Do you ever think about your own legacy though? Like what you're leaving behind?
Oh yeah, all the time. That's every day. Every day, everything I do is for him, and I get the feedback and I listen to, oh, you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that, and I hear it, but I'm going to do what's best for him.
Yeah, for your son.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I feel that. Same thing. Yeah, I think about what I'm leaving behind a lot, And besides being a good person or just a stand-up guy, I want to leave something from my son, and something that he could be proud of, that his dad was doing. Because right now, as I was doing like the trading and the YouTube and all that, and he straight up told his mom.
I thought you were doing OnlyFans there for a little bit. You were selling their feet pics.
Yeah.
Whatever, bro.
If y'all ever on Feet Finder,
I told him to shave that fucking big toe.
If y'all are ever on Feet Finder, I'm Gold Toe. Gold Toe 69. Look me up. Yeah. I'm trying to get Justin to come on with me.
Yeah, no, you don't want to see my feet.
I had to cancel my account. They said it was too explicit. Something about dipping your feet in cupcake. I don't know. They get real finicky about that.
Exactly, man. Everybody's too soft nowadays.
Yeah. So what's something about yourself that you hope never changes? Ever?
No, I'm never going to change, man. I mean, I'm just going to evolve.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's in the nature of change.
Yeah, but I don't know. Like that, I don't have regret. No regrets.
No regrets.
No regrets.
Yeah.
Regrets.
Yeah. All right. So let's say if you could live your ideal life free of any constraints, free of anything, what would that look like?
Like this, I guess. But I'm kind of doing it. Yeah. I don't know. Just whatever. I just want to take care of me and my own.
Yeah. But I'm saying, like, if you didn't have like a job or anything, no constraints, what would you do? What would your life look like?
Fuck, man.
But I mean, you were okay. Like, you didn't need money or nothing. You just
wake up, say my prayers, hit the gym. Just my day-to-day thing, like kind of what I'm doing now, man. Like, honestly,
Yeah.
Just kind of like what we did today, you know what I mean?
Just chilling.
Just chilling, man, living life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's a philosophy I've developed as of late, is just live till you can't live anymore, man. Yeah. Because life is short.
Yeah, it's too short.
Hell yeah, dude. So is there like an unexplainable experience you've had that still sticks with you throughout life? Like something you just can't explain, like, damn, that was crazy,
Not really, man. No. What about you?
Shit.
I mean, I have a lot, but I mean, you tell me.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. Let's hear it.
Enough about me. You tell me.
Go ahead.
I can't think of anything right now. That's why I'm asking you. No, it's not that I don't want to say. I just can't think of anything right now. My mind is always racing and thinking stuff. You tell me one.
An unexplainable experience that I've had that still sticks with me. Man, where do I start? I don't know, man. There was I used to live in this house, and my sister, Jay and Tina would remember this. It was like haunted.
Oh, okay. You're talking about that. Oh, I see dead people.
Anything like that, dude. You're trying to go into some weird depth. No, I'm saying just any kind of experience that's unexplainable. But anyway.
But yeah, no, you tell yours and then I can.
It was a 2-story house that we lived in. And you never went downstairs after dark, which was weird. Like, but what was weird is that the 2 bedrooms, like there's a stairway in the middle and the 2 bedrooms were on each side. So each time you went between both rooms,
you just feel it.
It was just down in the dark that you were looking.
Dang.
So, but no, the door to the garage would open and shut, and you could hear it all night. Yeah. And so one day, you know, we get brave or whatever, and we go downstairs, bro, and nothing's happening, you know. And then you go back upstairs, and then you hear it. You know, that shit was nuts, bro.
Oh yeah, no, since we're gonna get on that, I am born with that gift, dude. I really am. A lot of people don't see it as a gift, or it scares them because, you know, I would see a lot of crazy shit when I was younger, but now that I grown up, like, it don't bother me. You know what I mean? Like, like crazy stories, man. Like, I've had hauntings, you know.
Give me one.
I don't know. Have I had anything recent? Okay, so
it doesn't have to be recent.
Yeah. The crazy thing is, like, which is good because I like it. Like, at night, you know, all my loved ones, you know, that passed and gone, you know, they come and visit me at night. You know what I mean? And I like it. You know, it's fine. Or I have dreams. You know, I have dreams that come true from years later, or it could come true the next day, or I don't know. It's weird, but I have that gift, man. Like, I can sense something when there's something in the room or something, you know, I get that. It doesn't scare me. You know, I know when it's good or bad. So, people are going to be like, what the fuck?
No, you're not the only one.
No, I know,
here,
but
dude.
like the sixth sense, like, that's real. You know, it's real.
Yeah.
And if you have, you know, like, because Draven has that, man. He has that gift. And, you know, we've kind of, my mom and I have kind of taught him just to kind of like embrace it. You know what I mean? Don't be afraid of it. Because, you know, most kids or parents are like, what? They kind of look at them different. Like, no, you don't. You know, let's sit down and listen to your kids. You know, they're telling you things for a reason. Yeah. You know, and don't make them feel like an outcast or weird or different, because they're going to get bullied for that at school. You know, anything. But man, it's crazy. Yeah. I'm a big horror fan. I love horror movies out, but, you know, most people, they get scared of that, you know, because it's real. Yeah, ghosts do exist.
I don't know. I mean, I don't think I've ever picked up on ghosts besides that, you know, which was like a physical thing that you could hear.
Yeah. Oh, I've seen, I've heard.
I pick up on energy like crazy.
Oh yeah, energy too. Yeah.
You know, like if I walk into a room and it's not like the ghosts that are in there, it's the people that are in there. You know what I'm saying? Sure. Yeah. Like I can pick up on energy heavy. Like back in the day when me and Josh used to go to like house parties and shit. Sometimes we would just walk in and we would look at each other and be like, nah, like this ain't it. Like it just doesn't feel right. Like let's get the fuck out of here.
Exactly.
And then not even like 30 minutes later, the place gets raided or there's a shooting or someone starts a fucking fight, you know?
Exactly.
Like just that feeling, you know? You're just like, we got to be up out of here, man. I pick up heavy on vibes like that.
Yeah, definitely.
If your life was turned into a movie, what kind of story would it tell?
Fuck. I don't know, man. I think everybody kind of, or some people get that. I don't know. I'd have to sit down and write the script with you. I don't know. Right off the top. You already lived it. I've lived it. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I'd have to sit down and get into detail about stuff.
Yeah. If there was a movie about my life, it would just be, you know, what a guy goes through basically from childhood all the way to adulthood. You know what I mean? Just kind of the ins and outs and I would say the emotional aspect of a guy's life. You know what I'm saying? From a young man to a grown man. But delving deeper into the emotional side. You know what I'm saying? All right, folks, that's all we have for you today. Thank you for tuning in. That'll be it for this episode. We appreciate y'all tuning in. As always, please give us a like and subscribe wherever this podcast is hosted. And we appreciate y'all listening. And we'll see y'all on the next one.
Peace.